Hey guys, it's Alexandra with New Mexico Historic Sites, and welcome to Fort Selden Historic Site. As you can see, I am wearing my mask. I am following all of my COVID-safe practices. Today I would like to tell you about a holiday tradition that we love here in New Mexico. And so that you can hear me better, I am going to take my mask off. The holiday season is upon us, and here in New Mexico, this means many of us are preparing for what I think is one of the more unique traditions we have, the lighting of the Luminarias. These glowing paper bags create a beautiful spectacle throughout our state during the holiday season. Now, I know I've already upset a few of you by not referring to these as Farolitos. The exact terminology for what these glowing bags are is a significant point of contention among many New Mexicans. It's sort of like the holiday version of red or green chili. Now, where I live in southern New Mexico, we refer to these as luminarias. But if you live in central or northern New Mexico, you're more likely to refer to them as farolitos. The word luminaria translates from the Spanish as little bonfire. Traditionally, luminarias consist of cut pieces of wood stacked in a small square about 3 feet high, just like this little bonfire I have here. This is made out of pecan wood. Luminarias come to us from an older Hispanic tradition, which dates back to the earliest Spanish explorers in the region, who used to light small bonfires as guides along their journey. A December 1590 journal entry from Spanish explorer Gaspar Costaño de Sosa talks about the small bonfires that his group would light in order to get back to their campsite. He called these luminarias. These traditions were later transferred to the Catholic custom of Las Posadas, a celebration of the 9 nights leading up to Christmas Eve. During these celebrations, people would travel from home to home on cold December nights, so small bonfires would be stacked and lit. These bonfires would light the way to the entrances of homes, symbolizing the Holy Family's search for shelter. Farolitos come from a Spanish word meaning little lantern. Some scholars say that the earliest farolitos in the Southwest were Chinese paper lanterns, which were first available in New Mexico in the early 1800s. These were brought to the New World via Manila galleons and traveled up El Camino Real. But the paper was very fragile and therefore wasn't used very often. Regular use for paper in luminarias didn't begin until after 1871, when Margaret Knight invented a machine to make flat-bottomed bags. Now, what was great about this innovation is that the paper bag display did not deplete your stockpile of firewood for the winter. And over time, the word luminaria stuck when referring to the little lanterns as opposed to the little bonfires. Type Farolito into dictionary.com and you'll get luminaria. Type luminaria and you'll get a Christmas lantern consisting of a lighted candle set and stand in a paper bag. So there is an argument to be made for the literal translations of the word. However, this debate is simply one of regional terminology. Even the politicians got in on the debate. In December of 1969, Senator Edmundo Delgado proposed a Senate memorial, and with a vote of 37-3, determined that farolito is the correct term. However, noted New Mexico historian Fray Angelico Chavez, when asked about the terminology, is said to have responded with, whatever. Regardless of which term you use, I think we can all agree that the result is truly magical and a vital part of the holiday season here in New Mexico. While they represent different things to different communities, making and setting them out brings neighborhoods together. So luminarias are easy to make at home. You take the flat-bottomed paper bag and you're going to fold the first about 1 inch on the top down. Now, I like to fold it like this first. It makes it a little easier to fold the paper bag outward as well. It gives it a little bit of a crease. Now, you're going to fold it like this because what it does is it reinforces the top and helps the bag stay open once the candle is in it. And if the bag tears a little bit, that's okay. It always tears with me. Then, like that. Then we're going to put just a little bit of dirt into the bottom of our bag. And then take our votive candle and stick it into the bag. There you have it. Now, a word of caution as always when it comes to fire. Be very careful with the flame. And you also don't want to light this on a windy day because you might set your bag on fire. Typically, around this time of year at many of our historic sites, we are preparing for events showcasing thousands of Luminarias and Farolitos. Here at Fort Selden, we call this annual event Las Noches de las Luminarias. And on the screen, you're going to see some pictures from previous year's Las Noches de las Luminarias. These photographs were taken by Stan Ford, Jimmy Plain, Tom Conley, and the drone pictures are courtesy of Robert Paquette. Now, right now, state-run museums and historic sites are temporarily closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And as a result, our holiday events that take place on site have been canceled. But we do have some virtual programming taking its place. Now, we know you're disappointed, and believe me, we're disappointed as well. But the beautiful thing about this tradition is that it is easily recreated at home, even if you don't live in New Mexico. So this holiday season, let the light shine in the darkness. And remember that for many, these glowing bags represent hope for a better future. From all of us here at New Mexico Historic Sites, I would like to wish you a safe, happy, and healthy holidays. Bye-bye.